Welcome back, everybody, to Tointon Family Stadium here in beautiful Manhattan, Kansas. What started off as a dreary day has turned into a beautiful afternoon of baseball. It's a 3A state baseball quarterfinals. 3 tickets have already been punched. Now it's time to find out who is that 4th slot in the final for the state semifinals. It's number 3, St. George Rock Creek versus number 6, Salina-Sacred Heart. And it's coming right now on the KSHSAA network. I'm Joe White. Thanks for joining us. Glad you could be here. And I'll tell you, we've had some great games so far. In the first game at 11 o'clock, it was the undefeated #1 overall seed Humboldt taking out Wichita Independent in a close one. Then in the 1:30 game, Frontenac took out Silver Lake by a score of 5-2. Then the upset in the 4 o'clock game. Wellsville took out the #2 seed, Hayes TMP Marion, by a score of 9-7. That game ran a little long. That's why we're just now getting into this one, scheduled for a 6:30 start. It is now just about the 7 o'clock hour, and we'll be getting this one underway just as soon as possible. We'll run down the lineup real quick for Salina-Sacred Heart Knights, the visiting team, the #6 seed, head coach Brad Dix. The lineup he's sending out there, leading off the pitcher, Daniel O'Brien. The second baseman, Kyler Stover, bats second. Batting third, Dalton Dooley, the third baseman. Cleaning up, the center fielder, Blake Jones. Number 18, Dillett Bassett, the first baseman. He'll follow him. The shortstop, Travis Wasinger. Then Matt Kuffler. Damon Gormley and Clayton Wetter, the DH, will round out the starting lineup. Defensively, around the horn for St. George Rock Creek, the Mustangs will send out Brandon Lutgen, the pitcher. Josh Cerna, the catcher. First baseman, Eric Big E Willard. We know that because he's got it shaved in the side of his head. The second baseman, Dylan Johnson. Third baseman, Trevor Sutton. The shortstop, Ryan Harshbarger. Then in left field, Shane Adams, Adam Schmitz in center, and Jacob Miller in right. There is your lineup and your defensive lineup for Sacred Heart and the Rock Creek Mustangs from St. George, Kansas. The #3 and the #6. We're going to find out who the last team to punch that semifinal ticket is and who's going home tonight. O'Brien, the pitcher, sets in, left-handed. Right-handed pitcher, Lutgen. Here's the opening pitch of the game. Catches the corner for a strike, and we're underway. Both teams well represented here at beautiful Tointon Family Stadium in Manhattan, Kansas. Here's the windup and the second pitch, and this one is popped up. Left field, Adams is under it and makes the catch. And the first out of the game is O'Brien. That'll bring up Kyler Stover, the second baseman. Right-handed batter versus the right-handed pitcher. Into the windup and the first pitch. This one popped up. Everybody's there. Lutgen wants it. He takes it. And one pitch, another out. That'll bring up Dalton Dooley. The first 2 games we saw today, pitching and defense were the stories. Not a whole lot of offense. However, in the third game, totally different story. Here's the windup and the pitch. This one just a little bit outside. Double-digit combined runs in the first innings. Lutgen into the windup, and the 1-0 is outside to Dalton Dooley. Count 2-0, the right-hander gets his sign into the windup and the pitch. And this one stays outside, and the count runs now to 3-0 with 2 out and nobody on in the top of the first. Sacred Heart up to bat, they're the visitors. They came into this game with a record of 17-6 overall. There's a strike from Lutgen. The #3 seed, St. George Rock Creek, came in at 21-2 overall. And ball 4 low and away. There's the game's first base runner. It's Dalton Dooley via the walk. St. George Rock Creek and Hayes TMP came in with the same record and Frontenac came in at the same record at 21-2. Tiebreaker went to Rock Creek, and they ended up with the 3 seed. Here's the pitch, And that's in there for a strike. Frontenac, the 4 seed, took out Silver Lake, and they'll get the #1 overall seed Humboldt tomorrow. Humboldt, the only undefeated team at 23-0. Ludgen set, checks the runner. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Had him out in front of the off-speed pitch, and it's 0-2. Lutgen set, checks the runner over at first. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, blew the fastball right by him. And Blake Jones is down on strikes. We played a half of an inning here in Manhattan. Salina-Sacred Heart 0, St. George Rock Creek coming up on the KSHSAA network.
Hey, where you going? Can't get by me. I'm #1 in this class. I rule this lab. I'm #1. Hey, I don't think so. Yes! Winner! I am the king! Woo!
You wouldn't do it there. So, don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
What?
Jerk.
Welcome back to Manhattan, Kansas. You can see a beautiful evening here as the shadows rain down on the stadium. Let's go up with your lineups for St. George Rock Creek Mustangs. Leading off, the catcher Josh Cerna. Ryan Harshbarger, the shortstop, will bat second. Batting third, Jacob Miller, the right fielder. Batting fourth, Big E, Eric Willard, the first baseman. Trevor Sutton, the third baseman, will bat fifth. Shane Adams in left field, sixth. Adam Schmitz, the center fielder, will be seventh. And eighth, Dylan Johnson, the second baseman, and Ben Comerford, the DH, will bat ninth. Defensively, for the Knights of Sacred Heart Salina, Daniel O'Brien, the pitcher, Zach Butts, the catcher. At first base, Dylan Bassett. At second base, Kyler Stover. Third base, Dalton Dooley. The shortstop is Travis Wasinger. In left field, Matt Kuffler. The center fielder, Blake Jones. And Damon Gorley is the right fielder. There's your offense and defense now, as Daniel O'Brien gets ready to take on Josh Cerna. Into the windup, and here's the first pitch to Cerna. It's high and inside for a ball. Salina-Sacred Heart did not score in their half of the first. St. George Rock Creek trying to jump out to an early lead here in the nightcap. And there's a shot to the shortstop. Wasinger takes it on the hop, throws to first in time. And the out is recorded. 6-3 for those of you scoring at home. That'll bring up number 24, the shortstop, Ryan Harshbarger. Righty versus righty matchup. O'Brien gets the sign, into the windup, and here's a delivery. Inside, got him right on the elbow. So there's the first runner for the Mustangs, and it comes via the hit by pitch. Now here's the right fielder, Jacob Miller, with one out and a runner on first. Set, checks the runner, here's the pitch, and that one catches the outside corner for a strike. Jacob Miller, the tall right-hander, set in the box. Hitting out of an open stance, takes up almost the entire box. And a snap throw over to first, runner back in time. O'Brien leans in, gets a sign. Now from the stretch, here's the pitch. There goes the runner, throw down to second. Not in time. And a nice play by Wasinger there. going airborne to keep that ball from traveling into center field and allowing the runner, Harshbarger, to advance to third. So it's a stolen base for Harshbarger, and now there's a runner in scoring position for Miller. Swing and a miss. He had him out in front. And there's the strikeout. And now that'll bring up the big lefty, the first baseman, Eric Willard, with 2 down and a runner on second. See if the cleanup man can cash in here. O'Brien set, here's the pitch. And there's a line shot down the first base line, almost takes out his first base coach. With some nifty footwork there. This may have saved him. Ball coming back into play. So we're slightly held up here. Willard back in. The right-hander O'Brien peers in, has his sign, checks the runner at second. Now here's the pitch. And this one a little high and outside. And the count will leave it out now at 1-1. O'Brien with the sign, he's set, checks the runner at second. Here's the pitch, right in there for a strike. The off-speed pitch. And now the count's 1-2. O'Brien set, the 1-2. There's a drive, deep right field. Back goes Gormley, and just foul. Willard thought he got it out of there. He gave it a ride. But like Piccone last game, it ended up foul. So it's a very long, very loud strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And this one stays a little high. And the count will even out at 2-2. O'Brien set, checks the runner at second, the 2-2 pitch. And there's a line drive right to the first baseman. Bassett has it, no problem, and the side is retired. 3 unassisted on the play. We'll head to the top of the second. We've got no score here in Manhattan on the KSHSAA network.
Hey kids, this is Heavy D, Lord J. This one for all the refs out there.
The referee is there to keep things fair.
He's there to make the call. You may not like him all,
but when you're in the stands or even on the court,
remember, be a good sport.
Nothing your score here as we're set for the top of the second. Sacred Heart back up. It'll be Bassett, Wasinger, and Kuffler to lead things off if anybody gets on. Gormley, then Wetter. Both teams made a little noise in the first inning, but nothing to show for it. First pitch of this inning is in for a strike. Lutgen working quickly, has a sign into the windup and the 0-1 pitch. Thought about it, but Bassett did not chase. Got him to chase that one, fouls it straight back. That one's leaving the premises. And some kid's gonna go earn a quarter off the concession stand. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. And the dirt, and makes a tag out, so the out is recorded. It'll go down as a strikeout for Lutgen. And that'll bring up Wasinger, the shortstop. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher Lutgen. Into the windup, here's the pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. Lutgen working very quickly into the windup. Here's the pitch. This one high and outside for a ball. The count will even out at 1-1. Couldn't ask for a much better night for baseball here on the campus of Kansas State University. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Just misses for a ball, 2-1. We said this morning there was dark clouds and the wind was howling in from right field, and we weren't sure what was going to happen. This one's popped up foul out of play back towards us, and no play there. As that one almost leaves the premises, but finds the back of somebody sitting in the back row. We weren't sure what was going to happen with the weather. I told our producer, just wait. This is Kansas. You won't even know it's the same day by the nightcap, and here we are, beautiful night. And there's a line drive headed into right field for a base hit. So Wasinger gets the single. And it's the first hit of the ball game for the Sacred Heart Knights, first hit of the ball game, period. And that brings up Matt Kufler, the left fielder. As the wind starts to pick up a little bit, blowing in from right field. There's a chopper fouled, third baseline. It's blowing in at an angle, so it's almost diagonally from right to left, which earlier this morning was causing havoc with the infielders, especially with the short pop-ups and pop fouls. Lutgen toes the rubber, leans in, gets the sign, he's set. From the stretch, here's the pitch, and it's in there for a strike, 0-2. And we'll see it 0-2. If Wasinger, the shortstop, wants to test the arm of Josh Cerna. Lutgen set, runner does not go, called strike 3 looking. So Kufler's punched out, and that brings up number 24, the right fielder, Damon Gormley. With a runner at first and 2 outs, we'll see if they do anything here. As far as sending Wasinger, he's had a couple of pitches to try to time him. Lutgen set, here's the pitch. This one's in the dirt. Nice stop behind the plate by Cerna. Lutgen takes a long look at first. Now he throws over there, back in plenty of time. Here's Wasinger. Lutgen set, here's the pitch, there goes a runner. Chopped high in the air. Second baseman has it on a second hop, throw over to first. In time, nice job over there by Eric Willett, going low to get that one. So the out is recorded 4-3 as we head to the bottom of the second. Still no score here in Manhattan. It's the state quarterfinals for 3A on the KSHSAA network.
Ice cream,
Back at Tointon Family Stadium in Manhattan, Kansas, 0-0 your scores. We're here at the bottom of the second. Duo for the Mustangs, it'll be Sutton, Adams, and Schmitz. If anybody gets on, Johnson, then rounding out the lineup, Ben Comerford before heading back to the top of the order. O'Brien into the windup, working quickly. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. And Sutton was out in front of the fastball. O'Brien gets the sign, into the windup, and here's the pitch. Stayed outside. Sutton didn't take a stab at that one, so the count will even out at 1-1. O'Brien into the windup, here's the pitch. This one chopped up the middle. Charging in is the shortstop, Huesinger. Strong throw over to first. In time. So 6-3, the out is recorded, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Shane Adams. Let's take a look at the replay here. Look how high this ball gets right off the plate. That is a tough play, but attacking the whole time, Huesinger with the bare hand, and the strong throw, looking like a major leaguer out there. Here's the windup and the pitch. Catches a corner for a strike. And O'Brien's jumps ahead, no balls and one strike to Shane Adams. The 0-1, chop to second, intermediate hop, Stover has it, throws over to first in time, and quickly 2 up, 2 down. It wasn't as flashy as the one before, but just as effective. Good job judging that hop and then winging it right over to first base in plenty of time. Adam Schmitz, the center fielder's up now. O'Brien into the windup. Here's the pitch. This one stays down for a ball. O'Brien into the windup. The 1-0 in there for a strike. Count evens out at 1-1. Daniel O'Brien wasting no time here. Into the windup. And the delivery. Catches a corner, strike 2. And now O'Brien 1 strike away from a 1-2-3 inning. O'Brien into the windup and the 1-2 pitch. Chop towards third, charging in Dooley, throws across the diamond in time, and 1-2-3 go the Mustangs behind some fine defensive plays of the Sacred Heart Knights. We've played 2 here in Manhattan, still no score. We'll be back on the KSHSAA network.
Hey, great party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burnt.
That's it. You're not going to come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
You wouldn't do it there.
Gotta be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
A beautiful shot here in Manhattan, Kansas, as the sun begins its descent to the horizon. As we are in our fourth and final game of the evening, Sacred Heart and Rock Creek tied at 0. We head to the top of the third. It'll be the number 9 hitter, Clayton Wetter, then back to the top of the order with O'Brien and Stover. Lucan's first pitch in there for a strike. Wetter, the DH. And there he bats for the catcher, Zach Butts. Second pitch, and there for a strike, looking pretty good. Both pitchers working quickly and throwing strikes. And you can tell the defense likes that by the fine plays they've made. Swing and a miss. Had him a little crossed up there. And there's the 4th strikeout of the game for Brandon Lucan. Back to the top of the order, it's Daniel O'Brien. He flew out to left field to lead off the game. Here's the windup, the pitch, popped up, left side, and this one's going to reach the seats. Camera guy had it the whole way. No worries. So the count's 0-1. O'Brien's ready. Lucan with the pitch. This one catches the outside corner for a strike, and quickly it's 0-2. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swinging a foul ball. Now, a lot of these teams were here watching the previous games, and the way both these pitchers are working, you almost wonder if Lucan and O'Brien said, hey, let's see how many strikes we can throw before the lights come on. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, got him. And another strikeout for Brandon Lucan. That'll bring up Kyler Stover. He popped out to the pitcher in the first inning. Lucan with the sign into the windup, and here's the pitch. Right in there for a strike. And as soon as he's back in there, Lucan's into the windup. Here's the pitch. Outside corner for a strike, too. Looking into the windup, the 0-2 pitch. And this one fouled off back behind us and back into the parking lot. And this one fouled directly back and into the parking lot once again. So we stay at 0-2. A nice battle here between Stover and Lucan. We'll see who gives in first. Lucan into the windup. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. He strikes out the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Knights. We head to the bottom of the third inning. Still no score here in Manhattan on the KSHSAA network.
Thank you. Can I help you today?
No thanks. I'm just looking. Oh, this is cute. So?
Too tight-headed! Yeah!
You wouldn't do it there.
Hey! Oh!
So, don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Like they're the fashion police.
Back here for the bottom of the third inning, St. George, Rock Creek, and Salina-Sacred Heart tied at 0. Just two gems being pitched by O'Brien and Lutgen. We'll get into that more here in a second if we have time. This pace is a furious one set by the pitchers. Outside corner, strike one. Some season totals. O'Brien faced 94 batters in 20 innings, only allowed 20 hits and 20 runs. Here's the windup and the pitch. So if you do the math, that's about 21.2 innings pitched. So that's less than 1 hit per inning. Efficiency matters. Here's the windup and the 1-1. Framed nicely by Zach Butts, but does not get the call. And it'll go to 2-1. Rock Creek in the white. White jersey, white pants. Salina-Sacred Heart in the navy and gray with white trim. The 2-1 pitch in there for a strike. The count goes to 2-2. O'Brien into the windup. And the 2-2 pitch. There's a shot into right field. Gormley comes in and makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Ben Comerford, the number 9 hitter for the Rock Creek Mustang. Into the windup, and O'Brien's pitch right in there for a strike with the breaking ball. Comerford turned away, but the light action kept it moving right back into the strike zone. O'Brien gets a sign. Into the windup. And the pitch, this one is popped up, short center field. In comes Jones, and he's gonna let it fall in front of him. So the first hit for Rock Creek comes at the bat of the designated hitter in the third inning. Take a look at the replay here. Big swing, hit it off the end of the bat. And Jones pulls up a little bit. Looks like maybe there's a little miscommunication between he and Stover as he pulled up. Didn't want to lay out for it and take the chance. Shows bunt, ball in the dirt, nice stop. Throw down to second by Butts, and it's on the wrong side of the bag. Otherwise, they would have had a chance to get Comerford. He moves up to second. And now we'll see what Rock Creek does with 1 out. Do they still try to sacrifice bunt? Or with the catcher Cerna, the leadoff batter, do they try to drive him in? O'Brien from the stretch gets a sign, checks the runner at second. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, and the count's 1-1. No sign of bunt there from Cerna. He wants the RBI.
Thank you, guys.
Daniel O'Brien set, and now steps off. Gets the runner, Comerford, to head back to second. Comerford takes his lead. Right-handed versus right-handed matchup. Here's the pitch from O'Brien. Big curveball, stays high, and the count's 2-1. Cerna from the right-handed batter's box with an open stance, looking to slap one into the alley. Here's the pitch. Right in there for a strike on the outside corner, and the count runs even at 2-2. And now Cerna goes from looking for his pitch to just having to stay alive with a runner in scoring position. O'Brien leans in, gets the sign, he's set, timeout called. And O'Brien doing the smart thing, instead of stopping his delivery, just goes ahead and chucks it home. And a quick meeting between Zach Butts and Daniel O'Brien, as they apparently had a little mix-up on signs. They've come to an agreement. O'Brien leans in. He's set, takes a long look at the second base runner. Here's the pitch, and there's a shot into the alley in left field. They're going to wave him home. Kuffler's up with it. Here comes a throw. The play at the plate. He is safe. And the first run of the game is scored by Rock Creek. Josh Cerna with the RBI single. As we take a look at the replay here, it was the curveball that stayed up, and he was able just to get enough of it, pokes it in there. Now here's the play at the plate. It was cut off by the shortstop, or the third baseman, excuse me, Dooley. And if he lets that one go, if it's online, it might have gotten him, but they have to not do. Snap throw over to first, and a nice stab by Bassett there. Going airborne for it. So now one out and a runner on second for Ryan Harshbarger. He singled. Snap throw over to first, and the runner dives back again. In there for a strike. And the count's 0-1. So the number 3 seed strikes first in the bottom of the third. And they have a 1-0 lead, looking to add to that. Another throw over to first, and another nice stab by Dylan Bassett. Harshbarger took a long time looking at the sign from his third base coach. Here's the pitch, shows bunt, runner goes, that's why they had it on, and the throw is in time. Nice throw by Butts, nice play by Wasinger over there to throw out the stealing Josh Cerna. Take a look at the replay here. The bunt was on. It was a ball, so he pulled it back. The throw, right side of the bag. There's the nice swiping tag. And it's academic. Now they're going to call a strike now on that one. 0-2, they said he did not get the ball back in time, the bat back in time. Time called by Harshbarger again. O'Brien looking to stomp out this inning with one more strike, the 0-2. Outside, and the count runs even at 1-2. O'Brien into the windup, and the 1-2 delivery. This one in the dirt, the count will run even at 2-2. O'Brien into the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Right there on the corner, strike 3 called. And the side is retired, but Rock Creek strikes first. We've played 3 here in Manhattan. Your score, St. George Rock Creek 1, Salina-Sacred Heart 0. We'll be back on the KSHSAA network right after these fine words.
Boo! Hey, where are you going? You can't get by me. I'm #1 in this class. I rule this lab. I'm #1. Hey, I don't think so. Yes! Winner! I am a king! Woo!
You wouldn't do it there. So, don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
What?
Jerk.
Where'd you come from? I have a question. Do you used to live on Mars? Did you used to live on Mars? Then you should know that
The lights are on here at the campus of Kansas State University in beautiful Manhattan, Kansas. It's the 3A quarterfinals, the last game of the evening. St. George Rock Creek leading this Salina-Sacred Heart 1-0 as we're here in the fourth inning. Joe White, glad you could all join us. Here's the first pitch from Lutgen, and he misses low for a ball. Both pitchers, Lutgen and O'Brien, working very quickly and very efficiently. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike, and the count will even out at 1-1. Lutgen into the windup, and just misses low and away. The count is now 2-1. Brandon Lutgen, a junior. And the 2-1 misses, so he's hoping to be back here next year. More seniors on the St. George Rock Creek team than any of the other three. In the quarterfinals, this one misses. And Dooley walks. That'll bring up Blake Jones, the center fielder, as they announce at the fourth inning. The concession stand is closing. And panic strikes. Here's the pitch, popped up. Will it stay in play? Third base side. Sutton's under it, now has to come back to the coach's box and makes the catch. So Jones is retired, and that brings up the first baseman, Dylan Bassett, who's flashed the leather a little bit here. Right-handed batter. Holds the bat up high now, so get out of the way of that one. The wind picking up once again, coming in from right field. As you can see it on the jersey of Lutgen. Here's the pitch right in there for a strike. Bassett, the senior, takes one inside, and the count's now 2-1. One on, one out, top of the fourth inning. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, and a ball inside. And he wishes he could have that one back. Count evens out at 2-2. The Mustangs struck first in the bottom of the third inning. From the stretch, the 2-2, swing and a miss on the pitch inside. And Bassett chase two of them there, goes down swinging, and that brings up the shortstop, Wasinger. Left-handed batter versus right-handed pitcher, runner on first. Here's the windup and the pitch, and this one in the dirt, gets away. The catcher can't find it. Over to second, and thinking about going to third was Dooley. He decided to hold up there. And we had talked previously about the fact that the only dirt on this field here is the pitcher's mound. What you see in the base pass and behind home plate is not dirt, it's that grass turf. So there's those rubber particles in there, and we think that the balls that hit in front of the plate really are taking a funny hop, as this one stays away 2-0. As a lot of the catchers have struggled with those intermediate hops. As you can see right there, it's painted like dirt, but it's not dirt. Here's the pitch. Stays high, 3-0. Now Wasinger with a runner at second can be patient. He can look pitch and location for a ball to drive. 3-0. Catches the outside corner, not what he wanted. And more than likely, he'll be doing the same thing again. And there's high for ball 4, so now 2 on. Well, it's 2 outs, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Matt Kuffler, who was called out on strikes on 3 pitches. Coach Dix walked down near the batter's box to tell Kuffler something. Sacred Heart needs a hit here. Rock Creek needs an out. Here's the pitch. And this one stayed just high. And you can hear the groans from the St. George Rock Creek Mustang faithful as they wanted that one called. Lutgen set, the 1-0. There's a drive into center field. Schmitz is under it, a mile high. And finally it comes down and he makes the catch. So Kuffler hit it hard, but right at the center fielder. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Still, St. George Rock Creek 1, Salina-Sacred Heart nothing. Stick around. We'll be back on the KSHSAA network.
Hey kids, this is Heavy D, Lord J. This one for all the refs out there.
The referee is there to keep things fair.
There to make the call, you may not like them all.
But when you're in the stands or even on the court,
Remember, be a good sport.
As you can tell by the Power Cat, we're here at Kansas State University, Tointon Family Stadium in Manhattan, Kansas. And we've got a good one here. Bottom of the 4th, 1-0 Rock Creek. Here's the first pitch from O'Brien. And their first strike. Big bats up for the Mustangs this inning. Miller, Willard, and Sutton, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. If anybody gets on, it'll be Shane Adams. O'Brien working quickly and effectively still into the 4th inning. Big breaking ball, had him out in front of it, popped up. Third base. Dooley's under it. And he makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down. Now here's Eric Willard, who lined out to first in the first inning, but had the longest, loudest foul ball we've seen yet. Left-handed power hitter looking for something to pull. Digs in with an open stance. And didn't like the offering there. Almost went for it, but didn't. And it's called a ball, 1-0. O'Brien into the windup. And the 1-0 pitch. Thought about it. Didn't bite. Called a ball, 2-0. O'Brien into the windup, and the 2-0 pitch to Willard. Just misses outside, and it's 3-0. And O'Brien needs to be careful what he does with this pitch here. Here's the windup and the pitch. And this one's low, walked him, ball 4. So that brings up the third baseman, number 30, Trevor Sutton, with a runner on first and 1 out. Sutton grounded out to the shortstop in the second inning. The Knights would love that again. There's a line drive just past the shortstop up the middle. And to second base goes Willard, and stopping in at first with a single is Sutton, and now that'll bring it to left fielder Shane Adams with 2 on and 1 out. Take a look at the replay here. Letter high. Not the best pitch to swing at, but hey, if you can make contact with it, you'll probably put it somewhere fairly hard, and that's exactly what he did.
Here we go, deuces.
Timeout called. As we near the 8 o'clock hour in Manhattan, Kansas. O'Brien set. Here's the pitch. Right in there for a strike. And he jumps out in front of Shane Adams. No balls and 1 strike. Here's the 0-1. Catches the corner in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. Two on, 1 out, bottom of the 4th. St. George Rock Creek leading by 1 and looking to add to it here. Here's the 0-2 pitch from O'Brien. And he buries it in the dirt. Nice stop by Zach Butts behind the plate. Willard at second, Sutton at first. A walk and a single. And O'Brien trying to shut the door on this inning. Here's the windup and the pitch. Chopper hit to second, could be 2. There's the tag, the throw to first. In time, double play, the side is retired. Nice play by Kyler Stover. Knew he didn't have time to flip it, so he makes the tag and throws it to first base. 4-3 on the double play. Let's take a look at it here as we go to break on the KSHSAA network.
To your ears, no answer.
Top of the fifth, still a one-run game. Due up for the Sacred Heart Knights. It'll be Damon Gormley, Clayton Wetter, the DH, and then back to the top of the order, Daniel O'Brien, the pitcher, who got the double play to end the inning. Here's the first pitch. This one's chopped foul behind him. Just when it looked like Rock Creek had a chance to blow this thing open, the crafty Daniel O'Brien gets the ground ball to second for the double play. Gormley stands in and misses this one. He grounded out to second in the second inning, officially 0 for 1. Now batting here in the top of the fifth. Here's the windup and the pitch. And there's a little blooper to second baseman. Started back to Johnson, but he runs in to make the play. And the out is recorded. That brings up the DH, number 12, Clayton Wetter. Clayton struck out in the third. Takes the ball here. Lukin into the windup. Here's the pitch. This one catches the outside corner for a strike, and the count evens out at 1-1. Lukin into the windup. The 1-1 pitch. Line shot foul down the first base line. And Wetter just hoping he can straighten that one out. Here's the 1-2, swing and a miss. Put the fastball right past him, and Wetter 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Back to the top of the order, here's the pitcher, Daniel O'Brien. Pitcher versus pitcher matchup here. O'Brien flew out to left field and struck out in the third. Takes one inside. And the count's 1-0. Lukin gets the ball back right on top of the mound. Here's a pitch, popped up. Shallow center field, in comes Schmitz. He's under it and makes the catch. 1-2-3 go the Knights in the fifth. We head to the bottom of the fifth. The sun's setting here on the night season, unless they can get a rally. It's St. George Rock Creek at Salina-Sacred Heart on the KSHSAA network.
Hey, great party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burnt.
That's it. You're not gonna come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
I don't really
You wouldn't do it there.
Gotta be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
The Rock Creek fans having a good time. They're on your screen as they lead this thing 1-0. Sacred Heart Knights, they just want to get through this inning and get back up and get a chance to get on the scoreboard finally. 1-0 your score. O'Brien back out. First pitch in there to Schmitz is a strike. He'll face the 7, 8, and 9 hitters, Schmitz, Johnson, and Comerford. And if anybody gets on, back to the top of the lineup, and Josh Cerna. O'Brien gets a sign into the windup, and the pitch. Right there for a strike, and it's 0-2. O'Brien into the windup. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Line drive, right center field. That's going to get by everybody. And Gormley's over to make it. Strong throw in towards second. But Schmitz is in there sliding with the leadoff double. Take a look at the replay here. Centered one up. And Schmitz just took it the other way. Skipping into the gap, right fielder comes over, makes a nice throw. But the center fielder just too speedy to even make it close. Coach coming to the mound now. We'll see if Brad Dix pulls him or if they're just going to talk defense and strategy here. It's been a great game so far, pitched by Daniel O'Brien. And sometimes a manager just wants to look into the eyes of his pitcher and see how much he has left. That appears to be what he's doing here, trying to rally his defense. As you can see the nice shot of the meeting we have right here. Home plate umpire here telling him to let's pick things up a little bit. O'Brien looks ready. Gets some high fives from his teammates. And now Dylan Johnson, 0 for 1, steps in. O'Brien set, checks the runner at second, shows bunt, and the bunt is down. It's a good one. O'Brien off the mound, throws over to first in time, and the sacrifice is completed. Schmitz over to third. 1-3 on the sacrifice, and now that brings up the designated hitter, Ben Comerford, who singled, stole second, and then came around to score. And is thus far the only run of the game. Trying to change that now and drive in his buddy, Adam Schmitz. Here's the pitch. Just inside. Nice job framing by Zach Butts, giving home plate umpire just an extra second to think about it. O'Brien set. Here's a pitch. Big swing and a miss. And the count will even out at 1-1. Into the windup and the pitch. Nice breaky ball over for a strike. 1-2. Comerford down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes, looking to drive in the run home. And now here's a chopper, and it's going to be foul down the first base line. Cerner was not coming home. Or excuse me, Schmitz was not coming home on that play. One and two the count. Bottom of the 5th, runner on third, 1 out. O'Brien into the windup. Here's the pitch. Curveball did not go. Stayed high and inside. Count evens out at 2-2. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him with the breaking ball. And now there's 2 outs. And after the leadoff double, Daniel O'Brien's almost out of trouble here. Josh Cerna, the lone RBI. Runner on third. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Strike one. O'Brien into the windup. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball caught the corner, strike two. And now O'Brien 1 strike away from working himself out of a jam. He's into the windup. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball did not get him to chase. O'Brien looks into the windup, and the 1-2 pitch. Same pitch, same spot, same result. Count evens out at 2-2. We'll see if he challenges him with a fastball inside, as timeout is now called by Cerna. Cerna, the catcher. O'Brien into the windup. Fastball popped up, right center field. Jones is under it, makes the catch, and somehow O'Brien works himself out of a jam. A leadoff double gets stranded at third. We head to the top of the sixth. 1-0 your score on the KSHSAA network.
Thank you. Can I help you today?
No thanks. I'm just looking. Oh, this is cute. So?
You wouldn't do it there. So, don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Like they're the fashion police.
That sight right there tells the story. Lots of 1s and 0s as we're back, and Lucan wasting no time with Kyler Stover. Shows bunt. He misses. It's a strike. And right now, Sacred Heart going to try to find a way to get somebody on base any way they can. No runs, 1 hit. Here's the pitch. And there's a line drive right center field. Over comes the center fielder. Is going to drop for a base hit. Big turn at first for Stover. He'll hang on with the leadoff single. And there's your tying run. Only the second base hit of the game for the Sacred Heart Knights against Brandon Lutgen. Dalton Dooley, the 3-hitter, the third baseman. This is why he bats in this slot. He's walked twice. Here's the pitch. Right in there for a strike. Brad Dix gives the sign. Dooley back in the box. Lutgen from the stretch. He's set, checks the runner over at first. Here's the pitch. And this one stays blown away. Count evens out at 1-1. Stover takes his lead. Here's the pitch inside. Almost hit him, but called a strike. And it's 1-2. Here's the 1-2. This one in the dirt. Nice save by Josh Cerna behind the plate. That one prevented the tying run from reaching scoring position. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, runner on first, top of the 6th inning. It's crunch time in Manhattan. Lutgen set. Here's the pitch. Did not go. In the dirt, ball 3, count is full. We've already seen one upset. The 7th seed Wellsville knocking off the 2 seed Hayes TMP. Will we see another? Runner goes, chopper, hit to shortstop. Harzer has it, the throw not in time. Runner back over to second. Harshbarger had to break to second to try to cover the bag there. It took him out of position. By the time he got back to that ball, there was no way he was going to make the play. Strong throw, right on the money. But as you can see, Dalton Dooley well past first. Throw back to second, heads up play. Stover, though, not going far. Back-to-back singles. Now here's the bunt attempt, and it goes foul. Blake Jones, your cleanup guy, center fielder, trying to bunt the runners over, just doing anything he can to give his team a chance. Runner on second, 0-1. He's free swinging, fouls this one straight back. Here's the windup and the pitch. There's a drive, left field. Back goes the left fielder, it's over his head. 1 run will score. Right behind him is Dooley. Here they come, 1-2 to the plate. Salina takes the lead on the double from Blake Jones. Unbelievable. They had 1 hit coming into the inning. Now they have 3 in this inning alone. They take the lead on the 2 RBI double. Take a look at the replay here. The lefty stays in there, boom, puts the barrel of the bat right on it. Adams turns around twice. He wasn't getting there anyway. 2-run score. Bassett shows bunt, takes inside for a ball, 1-0. The first lead of the game comes in the 11th hour. Bassett takes ball number 2. In the second to last inning, coming in with just 1 hit in the game. Somehow Salina-Sacred Heart strings together 3 hits in the inning and has scored 2 runs, but there's nobody out. There's a runner on second. Brandon Lutgen had pitched an absolute gem up until this inning, but giving up 3 hits, he's lost the lead. There's a bunt back to the pitcher. Lutgen has it. Strong throw over to first. Sacrifice complete. Runner moves up to third. So runner at third with 1 out, and that brings up the shortstop, number 8, Travis Wasinger. Lutgen set, here's the pitch. Shows bunt, almost a squeeze was on there. So Blake Jones, the center fielder, comes through, and to give you an idea how hard he hit that ball, it is 340 to the corner and left. It's only 325 to right. So he gave that thing a ride, showing some opposite field power. This one is hit center field. Schmidt's under it. Tagging up is Jones. Here comes the throw to the plate. Not even going to be close. And it's 3-1 Sacred Heart on the sac fly by Wasinger, getting the job done. That'll bring up the left fielder, Matt Kuffler. So playing the small ball gets the job done for the Sacred Heart Knights. Sacrifice bunt, sacrifice fly, 2-run lead in a 3-run inning. Here's Kuffler swinging and missing at the first pitch, and it's 0-1. Here's the windup and the pitch. This one misses, and the count will even out at 1-1. Here's the windup. The 1-1 pitch just misses, and the count's now 2-1. 2-1 stays a little high, and you wonder how the psyche of Brandon Lutkin is right now. 5 innings of one-hit baseball. Here's the pitch, and he walked him. And now 3 runs on 3 hits in this inning alone. And that'll get a visit from Coach, coming out to check on his star pitcher, who has really pitched a fantastic game. Things just kind of caught up to him here in the 6th inning. 5 innings of one-hit baseball. By no means is this over, but in a game where runs are at such a premium, a 3-run inning is much like a 10-run inning in a normal game. But Daniel O'Brien, as beautifully as he has pitched for Sacred Heart, 1 run on 4 hits, has not pitched with the lead yet, so we'll see what that does to him, having to sit there for so long while his team rallies in the dugout. Here's Gormley. Said O'Brien did not bat yet this inning. He is the leadoff hitter. We're currently on the 8th spot in the order, so he's been sitting in the dugout. And this one stays high and tight. Count will even out at 1-1. Lutkin checks the runner. He's set. Here's the pitch. This one stays inside. And now it's 2-1. Danger zone for Brandon Lutkin and the Rock Creek Mustangs. Here's the 2-1, swing and a miss. Had him fooled. And Gormley, who's 0 for 2, is down to his last strike. Checks the runner. Here's the 2-2, swing and a miss. Didn't want to, but he went around. And the side is retired, but the damage has been done. 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 runner left on. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Sacred Heart has their first lead, folks. Stick around. I don't think the dramatics are over. It's the KSHSAA Network.
Boo! Hey, where you going? Can't get by me. I'm #1 in this class. I rule this lab. I'm #1. Hey, I don't think so. Yes! Winner! I am the king! Woo!
You wouldn't do it there. So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
What?
Jerk.
Go hard!
And the Sacred Heart Knights fans finally with something to stand up and cheer for. Their team took the lead. It's 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Salina-Sacred Heart, we can't say this enough, was being one hit until the 5th inning. The 6th comes around, 3 runs, 3 hits, their first lead. We'll see how Daniel O'Brien pitches with the lead for the first time this game. Goes right after him. There's his shot to shortstop. Weisinger has it, throws over to first, not in time. Harshbarger, the shortstop, beat it out. Take a look at the replay here. Slipped out of the box a little bit, but just put his head down. Weisinger did nothing wrong there. It was just speed. Speed won. Harshbarger takes his lead from first. O'Brien working from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And this one in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. Dangerous part of the order. Miller and Willard's on deck. Miller almost out of the batter's box. He's so open at this point. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. O'Brien set, checks the runner, snap throw. But Harshbarger's back in plenty of time. Timeout called, not granted. Strike 2. O'Brien was already in the delivery. When Miller stepped out, you got to make sure you're granted time first. He understands. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2, and this one stays a little low, and the count evens up at 2-2. Bottom of the 6th. Rock Creek has 6 outs left to try to retake this lead. Throw to first, runner back in time. Two-two count, runner on first, nobody out here in the 6th inning. O'Brien, and there's shot foul. And some nifty footwork by the first base coach to get out of the way of that one. O'Brien and Miller are battling here in the 6th. Who will win? O'Brien set, here's the pitch, there goes the runner. And the throw is high and it sails, nice play. Diving back in is Weisinger. Hoping that Harshbarger had overslid the base. It's a stolen base and the count has gone full. O'Brien checks the runner. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Line drive hitting to left field, and it's going to fall for a base hit. Kuffler takes it on a hop and throw in. Now there's runners at the corners with nobody out. Jacob Miller with a solid single. And that'll bring up Eric Willard, the big first baseman, power hitting left-hander. Zach Butts calling out the defensive alignment. Tying run at first, lead run at the plate. We still have not seen a big fly yet today. Timeout called by Willard. O'Brien set, here's the pitch. Line shot foul, first base. 0-1. Willard back in. O'Brien leans in for the sign. He's set. And the 0-1. And this one's low and inside. Count evens out at 1-1. O'Brien faked the throw to third and took a look at first, see if he could get anybody tipping their hands. It's a 1-1 count on the power hitting first baseman. Here's the pitch, and this one's fouled. Big, mighty hack. Very little contact. Willard 0 for 1 with a line out and a walk. But he did hit one about 1.5 miles foul. Here's the windup and the pitch. Oh! Somehow that was not a strike. O'Brien couldn't believe it. Butts couldn't believe it. And you could see Willard just kind of closed his eyes and took a deep breath. Count evens out at 2-2. Line drive caught by the first baseman. It's going to be a double play. He can run to second all he wants. All he has to do is step on first. And that does not allow the runner to score from third. So the second time Eric Willard has hit a laser beam right at Dylan Bassett. And the second time it's been an out. Let's take a look here. There's the pitch, low and inside where a lefty likes it. Just turned on it. Heads up play though by Jacob Miller. Thinking maybe he can distract him long enough for a chance for his runner to score from third. Didn't happen. Now there's a runner at third with 2 outs. And Trevor Sutton, the third baseman, 1 for 2, is at the plate. How quickly an inning can turn. Here's the windup and the pitch. And there for a strike. Count evens out at 1-1.
Okay, you see the giant
O'Brien into the windup. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a foul ball, 1-2. And can Daniel O'Brien somehow get out of another jam? He's battled all game long. Into the windup, and here's the 1-2 pitch. Low and away, count will even out at 2-2. Defensive swing just chops it foul. And the count will remain 2-2. O'Brien into the windup. Here's the pitch. This one stays high and the count's full. So O'Brien and Sutton have gone the distance. Takes a deep breath. Into the windup and the 3-2 pitch. Right in there, strike 3 called, and somehow O'Brien has done it again. We head to the 7th. Sacred Heart leads 3-1. You're watching the KSHSAA Network.
Hey kids, this is Heavy D, Lord J. This one for all the refs out there.
The referee is there to keep things fair.
There to make the call, you may not like them all.
But when you're in the stands or even on the court,
Remember, be a good sport.
Well, we've reached the 7th inning of the last game here in Manhattan. You couldn't have asked for a much better one. Leading things off for Sacred Heart, we'll have a pinch hitter. Number 19, Nick Wuthnow, a sophomore, steps in for Clayton Wetter. First pitch in there for a strike. And the 0-1 misses for a ball, 1-1. Nick Wuthnow, a pitcher slash outfielder. And then there's the 1-1, and it is outside for a ball. And the count's 2-1. Lucan fires one in there, and it's low and away. Maybe overthrowing the fastball just a little bit, and the count's 3-1 to the sophomore. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, and it's 3-2. They've gone the distance. Here's the payoff right in there. Strike 3 called. Take a look at this one again. It's been called all game right there at the knees. Good job of framing it by Josh Cerna. And now here's the pitcher, O'Brien. Line drive, center field, base hit. What can't this kid do? You know, some players just have that clutch gene. This kid's got it. And he's going to get the courtesy runner. That'll be number 3, Tate Richards. A catcher. Kyler Stover now the second baseman. He'll come up, gets the sign from Coach Brad Dix. And you can just feel the confidence coming off of Sacred Heart right now. And you can feel the desperation and the door closing a little bit on Rock Creek. Rock Creek the 3 seed, Sacred Heart the 6. Rock Creek was favored. The 1-0, driven to left field. Over to give it a look, but out of play. There's the left fielder, Shane Adams. Salina-Sacred Heart came into this game with a 17-6 record, while St. George Rock Creek came in at 21-2, only losing 2 games on the season. This is not a position they're used to being in. Lucan set. Here's the 1-1. High snap throw back to first. Diving back. just in time is the courtesy runner for Daniel O'Brien, Tate Richards. Two and one the count. Lucan's set. Here's the pitch. Oh, did it get him? I think so, right on the arm. And now there's 2 on. Stover hit by the pitch. And now runners at first and second with only 1 out. And here comes Dalton Dooley. And we'll have a pitching change here. A great game pitched by Brandon Lutgen. He should hold his head up high. 3 runs on 5 hits is a great line any day, especially when you look at the fact that after 5 innings, they only had 1 hit. Now pitching for Rock Creek is number 22, Shane Adams. He comes in from left field. A tall left-hander going to give a different look here. Adams, just a junior, has good movement on his breaking ball. It looks like he's having a little trouble locating it right now. And you can see the outfielders in the background taking a knee. We're trying to figure out what's happened in this game. And now, even though it was 1-0, they were seemingly in control. The Knights only had 1 hit. It gets them through 5 innings. And then all of a sudden in the 6th, 3 hits, 3 runs. And you find yourself down.
I remember when that fellow was cool. Yeah, it was like, I was like nagging kindergarten, like all the 6th graders would walk around there with rangers. Like, oh, it's so cool.
So it looks like Comerford will take over in left field. As Dalton Daly, the third baseman, comes up to bat. In a clutch situation here. Dalton with the bat high. Here's the first pitch in there for a strike. Right-handed batter, left-handed pitcher. Looking for something to drive. And there it was. He watched it go by, and it's 0-2. Dalton officially 1 for 1 with 2 walks. Here's the 0-2. Way inside. Nice stop by Cerna behind the plate.
I beat JC every time.
Here's the pitch. Chop shot into the hole. They're going to wave him home. Comerford's on it. Here comes a throw to the plate, and it's offline. And everybody will move up another 90 feet. It's 4-1. Dalton Dooley stands at second base with the RBI. And Kyler Stover is now at third. Let's take a look here. There's the pitch before. Didn't get him to chase it. And now there it is. Centers one up on the plate. Pulls it into the gap. Tate never slows down. He's running hard the whole way. Ball gets by the catcher, doesn't matter. Nice job backing up though by Adams. And now the bases are loaded. There's a shot in the left. One run is in. Here comes another. And Dalton's headed to third. And now the runners are at second and third. 2 more runs are in. This game has just been blown open, and you can feel the back break of St. George Rock Creek. Blake Jones, the center fielder, comes through with a big double. He plates 2 more. And now it's a 3-run inning. It's 6-1. Dylan Bassett, the first baseman, coming up now. Just hoping he can keep this thing going. And 6-1 Sacred Heart. Wassinger shows bunt. He singled in the second, walked in the fourth, and had the big sack fly in the 8th. Here's the 1-0, shows bunt again, pulls it back, and still only 1 out. But at this point, he might make Shane Adams throw him a strike. Here's the pitch. There's the strike. 2-1. Lefty versus lefty matchup. Adams steps off the rubber. Weisinger will step out. Gets the sign from Coach Brad Dix. And the 2-1. There's the bunt. Got it down. It's a good one. It's going to be a play at the plate. And did he beat it? Nope. He's out. And now the runner goes to second because nobody's covering. Heads up play there by Weisinger. It's a fielder's choice, 1-2. You'll see it here. Here it is. Nice reaction off the mound by Adams. The throw didn't exactly get there, but a good job by Josh Cerna. Look, nobody's on second base. He notices it. Swipes the easy one. Big swing and a miss by Matt Cuffler, the left fielder, who was 0 for 2. The strikeout and a fly out to center field. Runners at second and third. 2 outs. Top of the 7th. Back-to-back 3-run innings by Sacred Heart has put them ahead 6-1. Adams is set. Here's the pitch. High and inside, taken for a ball. Checks the runners. Here's the pitch. This one's fouled back out of play. Off of the roof. And the count's now 1-2. So Cuffler down to his last strike. What's he going to do with it? Can he add to the lead? Here's the pitch. Way high and outside. Looks like he wanted to throw a curveball, but it got away from him. So we'll ask for a baseball swap out. And a quick conference between pitcher and catcher. Adams is set. Here's the pitch. This one stays outside, and the count goes full. Left-hander. Here's the payoff pitch. Walked him, and the bases are loaded.
Hey, Brian.
And that brings up Damon Gormley, the right fielder, who has not had a good day at the plate. He's grounded out to second base, popped out to second base, and struck out. 0 for 3, but with a chance to be a hero here. First pitch, high and away, and all of a sudden Shane Adams having trouble finding the strike zone. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that one caught the zone. And it's 1-1. Adams set, snap throw over to first. And back in time is Kuffler. Adams set, working from the stretch, the 1-1, and this one's high and away. Count goes to 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Right in there for a strike. And the count's now 2-2. Bases loaded, 2 out. Top of the 7th. Knights leading 6-1. Adams is set. And this one's fouled straight back. May have chased one there. The winner of this game will face Wellsville tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Wellsville with the upset of Hayes TMP Marion. Here's the pitch. High ball 3, and they've gone the distance. Bases loaded. Nowhere to put them. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 7th, 6-1 game. Here's the payoff pitch. Inside, walked him. There's another run. Now that brings up the designated hitter, Nick Woofnow, who started off this inning striking out looking. Now you never want to be the guy who gets the first and third out of an inning. Swing and a miss. Snap throw down to third, back in time. Here's the windup and the pitch. And this one is fouled back and out of play. And the Sacred Heart fans make a play on it. It's harder without a glove. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The lefty Adams is set, bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Line outside, and the count evens out at 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Line outside, ball 3. And once again, Adams goes full count with the bases loaded. And we'll see if he tries to throw that curveball again, or if he just challenges him with the fastball. Here's a 3-2. Walks in another run. And that'll do it. Coach Chad Herron's out. And he'll make the pitching change. So Shane Adams will head to center field. And on to pitch is number 23, Adam Schmitz. They will just switch spots. So in a turn of events that nobody saw coming, the bats of the Knights woke up all of a sudden, and they now lead this thing 8-1 and are threatening with more. A 3-run 6th inning, a 5-run 7th inning. And you can see it in the body language. The hearts have been broken of Rock Creek. Let's go back and take a look at some of those runs in this inning. There's the big blow, the one that's been pulled to third. Here comes the pinch runner Tate around home. He scores, 2 runs move up. Then right after that, there's a shot into the gap. That plates 2 more. The big double, and there's a couple walks. Now Daniel O'Brien back up, swings and misses at the first pitch. Here's the 0-1, there's a little dribbler up the middle, and it's taken by the second baseman, throws over to first in time, and finally, the side is retired. Putout goes 4-3, but the damage was done. 5 runs, 4 hits, 3 left on. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Sacred Heart in control of this one. They're just trying to punch that ticket to tomorrow on the KSHSAA network.
To your ears, no answer.
Well, we've reached the final inning of the final game here in Manhattan, Kansas, and a stunning turn of events in the past 2 innings as the Sacred Heart Knights bats woke up. They played 8. A pinch hitter here for St. George. It will be Brandon Goring, the junior, number 28. First pitch is a swung on and miss for a strike. Daniel O'Brien looking for the complete game victory. Here's the windup and the pitch. Wow, just misses for a strike. O'Brien's line thus far, 6 innings, 1 run, 6 hits. A coach will take that any day. O'Brien into the windup. Here's the 1-1. And that ball is hammered to center field. Back goes Jones. He's under it. And 1 away. And the Sacred Heart Knights are just 2 outs away from playing Wellsville tomorrow afternoon with a shot at playing for a state championship. Swung on and missed. Adam Schmitz is in there. Schmitz today officially 1 for 2 with a ground out to third and a double. Here's the windup and the pitch. Outside, and the count will even out 1-1. O'Brien into the windup. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Grounder hit to third, taken by Dooley. Strong throw in time, 1 out away. And now batting for Dylan Johnston. It'll be 29, the senior Cody Liming, getting to close out his career here with an at-bat in the state tournament. O'Brien's first pitch, right in there for a strike. Liming, a pitcher and utility player. Here's the windup and the pitch. This one misses for a ball. Count evens out at 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Thought about going, didn't. Called a ball, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Just missed. The count runs to 3-1. O'Brien into the windup. Here's the 3-1. That caught the corner for a strike. And now the Mustangs are down to their final strike. The Sacred Heart fans are clapping. The count is full. There's 2 outs. It's the bottom of the 7th. O'Brien's into the windup. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. The game is over. Sacred Heart is on to the Final Four. They punched their ticket on the arm of Daniel O'Brien. And they will take on Wellsville tomorrow at 12:30. In the first game tomorrow at 10 o'clock, it'll be Humboldt, undefeated, 24-0, taking on Frontenac. In the second game, it'll be Wellsville and Sacred Heart. Then tomorrow night at 5:30, we will crown a state champion. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. For the entire crew here, I'm Joe White saying thanks for joining us. Come back tomorrow when we crown a champion. Good night, and thanks for watching.
Hey, I made this Twitter and I can't find it now. Is it because I didn't log out of it? Oh, I didn't log out of it.